Just close your eyes. Know the peace within.
You only observe just now. You are the Supreme. You are the Eternal. You never know what you are exactly, as you are yet to know the observer in you. Whatever you say, describe, worry about, are not you at all. You are only observing whatever that appears to happen within space. You do not know what these forms are, what these appearances are, what these objects are within space. Your original state is beyond space just now. You are only observing a continuous show, a continuous movement, a continuous happening within space. You take yourself to be a form within space and accept all that appear within space as real, as you are yet to know how this space has appeared just now. But for space, there's no object, neither form nor the world. You are yet to know what this space is, what these objects are within space, including your form. So, continuously throughout your waking state, you are deceived by your own perception till your consciousness wakes up totally. Your consciousness needs to wake up to know that all that perceived within space, including space, or by light itself. There are no persons here. The first point is to know that you exist here within space due to consciousness and its play by elements. Though the consciousness is everywhere, consciousness cannot know its presence unless a physical matrix is available. How this physical matrix is formed? Only by the spontaneous interaction of the elements. You take the gross form to be yourself and refuse to go inward to find out from where this form arises and how the form happens. What is the basic material essential for the appearance of the form, for the survival of the form, for the movement of the form? You refuse to go inward. You are adamant to go inward. You are continuously stuck outside. I can give you guarantee. You are still roaming outside, checking every part of the movie to be real. Because you never listen to your realized words. Realized words are not absorbed or imbibed deeply within. Because only they can wake you up. Because they know what the reality is. They know what you are exactly. And nothing has never happened to you. That's why I am expounding this knowledge to you. Why? To wake you up from the non-real show and to make you aware of what you are exactly. Nothing has never happened to you. You are in an unending joy, unexplainable joy, non-stop joy. Continuously, you know the infinite peace within. See how you are ignorant about your true nature, and you take every part of the movie, every part of the waking state to be real, and get stuck outside. Then how will you wake up without going inward? I am talking from the non-dual absolute state, about the duality and its play, about the duality and its unreal happening, about the duality and all happenings or whatever that occurs are not real. The very basic fundamental essence is missing. That's why everyone remains so disturbed, because you are unwilling to wake up. How will you wake up? By simply roaming outside and taking everything to be real. Have you ever pondered over on these lines? Why so many have said that nothing is real here, only my supreme self, the supreme truth is real now. Why not you wake up? What is preventing you to wake up and know? You feel so convenient to sleep, to dream. You don't dream, first of all. The dream happens. That too you mistake. Accept that you are dreaming, because you never know what you are. You never do anything. I give you a guarantee, you never do anything at all. You only observe at the highest level. Because you never observe, you find difficult to accept this teaching also. Unless you observe, how can the actions be carried out? How do you know any actions unless you observe? You observe, but you never know that you observe, because you are continuously, very easily trapped by all that happening within space. I expound this knowledge only to sincere seekers in search of the absolute truth. If you want to wake up and know what you are, better go inward. Don't waste time outside. First wake up and then enjoy the play. You contain the absolute truth within you just now. Then why refusing to go inward and to know the stillness? That too constantly, not for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. You say, I sat for a few hours and I know the peace for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. It's not like that. Peace cannot be broken. It is not an object. It is your own subject. It is ever there. You never respect yourself. Had you respected yourself, you should have known the stillness within, because that's a very fundamental base through which you can explore the absolute truth about yourself. The very fundamental point itself is missing. Again, you are trapped by the entire episode. The same story goes on. You want to accept the story as real, and also you want to know the supreme truth about yourself. How is it possible? You must first accept that you are only conscious at present. You cannot deny it. You cannot deny about your presence. Your presence is known to you only in your conscious presence. Everything appears, moves, functions, and disappears too. But who observes all these things? That which appear, move, or disappear, who else observe other than you? Just tell me. Here you means not person. I have already told many times, you refer to only the consciousness within, no more person. Enough of trouble with the person. With the personality, you can never wake up. The dream or story goes on endlessly and there's no end to it. You can never wake up. Then how will you know what you are? If your determination is only to know what you are, automatically you will close your eyes, go on inward and find out. Through stillness, not through words. The absolute truth is not moving. It cannot change itself. It cannot move itself. It cannot appear and disappear. It is prior to form, prior to movement, prior to duality. And you are that. You are not separate from it at any point of time, because you are in timelessness. Now you are caught by the time. You are beyond form, now you are caught by the form level identity. It's a play. How long are you going to remain like this? Doing the same thing again and again and again. Meditation is only observation. Observing without words. Even with eyes open, you can observe silently, without words, without involvement, as if you have no business with whatever perceived. You should not involve yourself. Just observe whatever that appears or happens. It is such a simple thing, but you find so difficult. It is not a challenge. How can you remain a challenge to yourself? because there's no otherness. Know to observe silently whenever you are free. Of course, when you are involved with many activities, you have to be conscious and you have to respond also. Whenever you are free, start observing silently. Without words, because truth is beyond words. Truth is not truth. Can't spell it. That word is only to indicate that which is beyond words. Words are used only to indicate the ultimate within you. To know the ultimate, initially you need to be conscious. But you are stuck at the personality level. The basic fundamental step itself is missing. Then how can you wake up? If you cannot wake up in my presence, then when will you wake up? And who can wake you up? You have got an empty number of choice to remain wakeful once you are with me. You can't miss me. It's a very rare chance for you to know the absolute truth about yourself, because yourself is unnecessarily trapped at the personality level, at the form level identities, and there's no remedy at all. I am expounding this knowledge only to sincere seekers willing to transcend the duality and to abide in the non-dual constantly, to find out the eternal truth about yourself. This knowledge is very, very rare. Imbibe in it, make use of it, make use of my presence too, these wordings too, because it penetrates you deeper within. I am not giving any lecture here. I am talking about yourself. I am dealing with yourself. I know what you are exactly. See, nothing has never happened to you, but still you remain stuck at the duality level because you consider everything to be real. Because you are yet to transcend the duality, you do not know how the form happens. Just now, I am telling, it's not about anything called past. Just now you do not know how you appear to be, how the space appears to be, how the world appears to be, how everything appears just now in your consciousness. And but for your consciousness, there's nothing here. What a miracle. Once you are here, the world is there. The world is there as long as you are here. Once your presence is not known to you, the world is also missing. Why not you find out what this consciousness which does the magic, as if when I am conscious, the world is there, and when I am not conscious, the world is not there. Why not you remain conscious and find out why this consciousness happens and how this consciousness happens, and why I am able to know myself only for a particular duration, and what happened to me during sleep, where will I go and where I go. You never investigate about your true self. You never investigate on these lines. because still you are stuck at the personality level. Your consciousness is ever here because it's light itself, out of which elements happen spontaneously just now, just now, just now. And out of the various combinations of the elements play, zillions and zillions of objects are appearing now, moving now, and making some variations of sound now. This play goes on as long as you remain conscious of yourself and know it is only you who observe the world. It is only you who observe the dream. It is only you who observe the movie. And nobody else. And everybody else appears only in your consciousness. If you are not, nobody is here. My teachings will look entirely different to you because you have been hearing only about the personality level stories. Now I am turning you in and making you aware of what this consciousness is, which does the trick as if you are here only for a shorter duration, as if you have born and you are going to die. It's not like that. You are ever present here. Nothing has never happened to you. This birth and death are not you. You are prior to birth and death. How will you know unless you wake up? You cannot simply memorize any book and say that I have known the truth. Truth is beyond words. No word is required to know yourself. Not only to know yourself, but also to know the source of the self. Your self gets complete and it becomes wholeness only when it merges with the source itself. Otherwise, your self remains incomplete only. These teachings are coming straight from the source. Why? To wake up your consciousness, which is trapped at the duality level. The source of consciousness is awareness, which is non-dual. And the expression of this consciousness is in duality. So your consciousness, which is struggling due to its own projection within space, taking all to be real, completely remain ignorant about its source and from where it has come. Your consciousness never knows that it never dies, because your consciousness remains ignorant forever at the personality level. It accepts the birth and death as real. Then how can it know its eternity? It never knows that it is all a dream happening by the play of the elements. But for the play of the elements, no object can appear here. So just a play of the elements. We may give any name: quarks, photons, electrons, elements, oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen, whatever. You can give any term. It's just a movement. Just a movement makes you believe as if everything is real, exactly like a dream in your sleep. In sleep, you never move. You are lying down in your bed. And so many things are going on, and you only observe, that too seriously, because there's no end to the dream. It goes at a different path, at a different style. Can't expect anything. Just happens. Only upon waking, you come to know that You are lying down in your bed and nothing has never happened to you. And whatever that happened to you, including your form within the dream, is not real because you appear to be only lying down in the bed. Had you not woken up from the dream, you will consider the dream to be real. Similarly, here in this waking state, till your consciousness wakes up, you take every part of the movie, every part of the dream to be real, and get stuck at the duality level itself. There's no chance for your consciousness to transcend the duality. Then how will you wake up? How will you wake up without transcending the duality? There's no reality in duality, it's just a play by elements, not by any persons. I keep on telling you. You are also hearing as if I am telling some stories. Had you listened deeply, you would have gone deeper. Because this is a very, very rare chance for you to dive deeper and find out the unexplainable, ever-present, eternal treasure in you. Who else can wake you up? I am not telling any story. Enough of stories. Right from waking state on till sleep happens, only story is going on. What more new story you need to listen to? Only a realized can wake you up and make you aware of the non-dual, ever-present observer, eternal observer in you. Once your consciousness wakes up, then you will know why I have been expounding this knowledge. Then you will also start waking up the consciousness within each and every form. There are no persons here. Every form is by consciousness. How this consciousness is adamant not to know itself? Because it never knows it is consciousness. The only solution is your consciousness needs to accept first that yes, I am consciousness at present. This is not enough. You must close your eyes, observe silently, and know the stillness within. In my presence, it is very, very easy to know the stillness because I am the source beyond stillness. But this stillness is not the end, it's only a beginning. See, I am making you aware of the stillness within and helping you to abide in the stillness within. Why not you settle there? Why not you stabilize there? Why are you jumping again to the duality? Why not you settle there itself and observe the duality show? You never occupy your seat and observe the movie. You simply jump out of it, out of excitement about the movie. Again you forget that you are the observer. This is how your consciousness remains ignorant about itself. Every day is a gift to you to know your Supreme Self, to know your Supreme Truth. It is such a joyful journey. You cannot find worry, you cannot remain struggle, you cannot suffer also once you are conscious of yourself. I have given you all the tips how to be conscious of yourself. Had you taken a single tip, you should have been conscious just now. There's no need for me to remind you that you are consciousness. See, you are lying down in the same bed and only observing some nonsense in the name of the dream, and which is not real. It appears to be real and it cheats you, it deceives you for some duration as if every happening is real. Exactly here, throughout your waking state, you are deceived because you are not conscious of yourself. Do you catch the point? Why you struggle? Why you are not conscious? This is a very rare subject. Because I deal with your consciousness and wake up your consciousness, which is trapped continuously throughout the waking state. You are conscious of yourself only in the waking state. In deep sleep, you do not know that you exist. But you are given a chance to know yourself only through the waking state. But throughout the waking state, you remain asleep. Then how will you wake up? Where's any chance for you to wake up? That's why many remained silent. Nobody expounded knowledge to many. They, after knowing the truth, they remain silent forever. Because they know nobody listens deeply, nobody is interested in themselves. So they thought they let them suffer or wake up or sleep. They remain unbothered. But here I am bothered about your consciousness. I know what you are exactly. Each and every talk is addressed only to your consciousness, not to any persons. So throughout the waking state, what else are you doing? Following the ignorance and become more ignorant. Can you follow anyone once you are conscious of yourself? You may guide many once your consciousness is total and awakened, not in between. First you have to wake up. Then only you can give vision to the others who are suffering or who are in need of it. It's not wrong. This knowledge is not to all. Only to the selected few, to the blessed few. Who are in search of the supreme truth, beyond duality. My concern is, I am going on talking. I go on explain, and you also go on listen. When are you going to wake up? I am not talking for the sake of talking. Each and every word is coming from the source. It should penetrate the ignorance in you and uproot the ignorance in you and make you free from the ignorance in you. Here ignorance means identifications. Ignorance means personality level identity. Ignorance means form level identity. This form is just an indicator of the truth. It indicates the truth within. It is not you. It's just an indicator. It indicates, because only through the form you come to know that you exist, only through the form you are conscious of yourself. Though you are ever here, the form is essential. You can't ignore it. You can use it properly and know the eternal truth about yourself. Because here also the talk is expounded using the instrument only, called form. You are more than the form. That's why you are made to close your eyes. See, now you know the stillness within. This stillness is beyond. It has got no boundary. It's infinite. You are infinite just now. How do you caught by the finite show? Why you are caught by the finite show? Why can't you remain undisturbed, unperturbed, and observe silently throughout the waking state, which is preventing you? Unless you settle and stabilize inwardly, no chance for you to uproot the ignorance in you and to know the consciousness within you. Unless you know the consciousness within you, how can your consciousness wakes up and your consciousness itself is missing due to personality identity? What is a person? How do you call the form as a person? Some labels are added to it. At least that is only for survival, for communication. It's not you, it's only an added label. It is only for utility, it is not you. Memory is also only for utility, it is not you. You are conscious of yourself. In your consciousness only perception happens. In your consciousness only everything happens, including memory. Where is memory other than consciousness? If you are not consciousness, where is the memory? But you take the memory to be yourself. That's the gravest mistake. Memory is just for utility. Make use of it. It's not you. You are only perceiving everything here. You are not memorizing anything here. Memory happens because of the sensors. Because of the sensors, the nucleic acid, every impression is getting stored, photographed, stored and reproduced. You are none of the sensors nor the photographed thoughts or imaginations or impressions. You are the constant observer prior to all movements. Make note of it. You are the constant observer prior to consciousness, prior to memory, prior to all movements, prior to forms, prior to space, prior to time, prior to object, prior to duality. These teachings will certainly help your consciousness, provided you are conscious of yourself and listen these teachings deeply. I am certain about it, because my teachings will never go waste. It will be more useful to the consciousness which is in search of itself, because I am addressing only to consciousness which is in search of itself. You are always the unending, ever present, ultimate, supreme. You are only observing the infinite peace and unending joy within, provided you are conscious of yourself. You are not conscious of yourself, so every happening, every moment, every scene appear to be real, appear to be more suffering. And you remain ignorant continuously throughout the waking state. It is better to be conscious of yourself through stillness and wake up from the ignorance level, duality of the elemental play, and know that you are prior to the play, prior to duality, and to know that nothing has never happened to you. Better wake up consciously and know that only a non-stop play by the elements is going on here, and there are no persons here. The entire play is going on spontaneously. Only by the play of the elements. But for the elements, there's no play. There's no object. There's no movement. So entire duality is only due to the movement of the elements in space. And you have got nothing to do with the play of the elements except to observe it silently through stillness. Once you know the stillness within, who else observes the stillness other than you? You are the observer prior to stillness, prior to space, prior to consciousness just now. But somehow your consciousness is not conscious of itself. So immediately it is trapped. Throughout the waking state, each and every frame is new, and also by the elements, movements. You stay prior to movements, prior to elements, prior to the play, just now, nothing has never happened to you. You are always in your original supreme state. I give you guarantee, but you can know it only by going inwardly, not through words, but not by staying outside. You cannot read the book and say that as I have known. It's not like that. It must be your direct knowing. You are prior to knowledge. Knowledge just indicates you, that's all, that you are the Supreme. How to know it? Unless you go beyond words. Abide in stillness. Constantly, consistently. That is more important. Because stillness is beyond time. You can't say, I am in stillness for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. It is ever there. But you are knowing it only for a few seconds in terms of time. But stillness is in timelessness. Beyond time, beyond moment. Because there is no object. If there is any object, you can't call it as stillness. Stillness means there is no movement. And there is no movement, there is no object also to happen. So I am taking you beyond object, beyond form, beyond movement, beyond time. Why not you settle there? I am not giving theory, I am making you practically to know the stillness within. And also I explain to you what you are exactly. Imbibe this teaching sincerely, more devoted to yourself, because yourself is not separate from me. Once you are devoted to me, that means you are devoted to your own self. The self contains all, but I am the source of consciousness. I know what this consciousness is, which appears to struggle because of its wrong identity at the form level. Your consciousness has to know that it is only consciousness. That's the only remedy. I am telling you, every sickness is due to your consciousness not knowing that it is only conscious. And the ultimate medicine is that your consciousness should know that it is only consciousness. How? Only by staying beyond words, by knowing the stillness within, which you are now. I am with you always. You are not separate from me. Here I am and you are no more persons at the infinity level. Beyond duality. Duality is a play, just observe it. Why not to observe? It is not you. You will enjoy the play once you start observing it, because there is no reality. You can enjoy the play only by knowing the reality in you. That's why I am helping you to wake up your consciousness, to know what it is exactly. Your consciousness is not separate from the source. Your consciousness is always in the source only. The source of consciousness is awareness. It is never separate from awareness. But your consciousness manifests entire space, cosmos, universe out of the play of the elements. But your consciousness, not knowing that it is consciousness out of which everything is happening, it starts accepting entire manifestation as real, entire movements as real, entire story as real, entire dream as real, entire movie as real. Because your consciousness has to know that it is only consciousness, it is only light out of which the entire episode, entire manifestation is happening spontaneously. There is no person here doing anything. Everything is spontaneous happening. Every play is spontaneous. Every movement is spontaneous. Once you listen to my teaching deeply, very easily you will start knowing the stillness and start observing through stillness and start waking up from the duality show and start knowing your ultimate non-dual supreme observer in you. You are already that. Better wake up consciously and know this. I am with you forever.